next at 5:30.
Some business owners near a local ski area say the state's neglect is leaving them out in the cold.
Also at 5:30.
A new study shows donating blood regularly may help you live longer. We'll tell you why.
From WNYT, Albany, this is News Channel 13, live at 5:30.
It sends a message to other judges in New York State that we're talking about more than just dirty pictures.
An Albany County judge is the first to hand down a sentence of prison time for internet kiddie porn.
An Albany man is the first of 14 arrested in a sting to get hard time. It's our top story, and a live report is just minutes away.
This is News Channel 13, live at 5:30.
Good morning, good afternoon, rather. I'm Phil Bailey, filling in for John Gray.
And I'm Benita Zahn. Chris Kapostasy's off tonight.
We'll get back to our top story in Albany in just a minute.
But first, the other big stories people are talking about tonight. Vermont's governor is telling Vice President Al Gore to move over. Democratic sources say Howard Dean met with Gore this week to tell him he's running for president. A Dean spokeswoman confirms the meeting, but would not say what the two talked about. Dean's not the only Democrat making plans to challenge the vice president. Nebraska Senator Bob Kerrey and House Minority Leader Dick Gephardt says they'll also be in the race.
And investigators in the John Benet Ramsey murder case say they want to interview the girl's parents and older brother again. Police say they've uncovered new information and have a lot of new questions. Investigators say the parents remain under suspicion but would not call them suspects. Police are calling John Benet's 10-year-old brother a witness. It's been almost a year since the girl was found dead in her parents' basement.
3 people, including a TWA pilot, are accused of stealing pieces of the TWA Flight 800 wreckage. The plane parts were used by conspiracy theorists who claim the plane was shot down by a missile. The stolen items include a piece of fabric from a seat cushion that reportedly had missile fuel on it. One of the suspects says he found the fabric in his mailbox and has no idea how it got there. The suspects are expected to surrender sometime today.
And Ted Kaczynski's 10 by 12-foot shack has completed its 1,100-mile journey to Sacramento. The cabin will be stored at a former Air Force base until defense lawyers need it. Kaczynski's attorneys want the jury to walk through the cabin. The attorneys are hoping it will back up their claims Kaczynski is mentally ill.
And now back to our top story. A father of 4 sent more than 30 pornographic pictures of little girls on the internet.
But 50-year-old Russell Everett didn't know he was caught in a web spun by the Attorney General. Monica Mahaffey joins us now live. Monica, others have been convicted in the sting, but how come this is the first one to go to prison?
Well, 13 others are going on probation. They've gotten probation, but Russell Everett is getting up to 4 years in prison. The Attorney General, Dennis Vacco, thinks that's because Judge Thomas Breslin saw some of the photos. Vacco says Everett's getting a lot less time than if he actually committed the acts depicted in the photos. The AG's office hopes that confiscating computers from people like Everett will lead them to the producers of the smut. Vacco says computers leave a so-called roadmap of where information was retrieved and sent. And federal investigators are also getting involved now, hoping to wipe out kiddie porn in cyberspace.
Right now, today, we have in our possession over 200,000 of these images. We've identified now approximating 2,000 people worldwide who have been willing to transmit at least one of these very graphic images to us.
Vacco says that as more law enforcement agencies get involved, he expects the numbers of offenders arrested to explode. I'm Monica Mahaffey for News Channel 13, live at 5:30.
Now, time for your first warning forecast from News Channel 13.
And good afternoon, everyone. We are in Boston Spa for the annual Victorian Christmas Parade, which kicks off in just about 1 hour now at 6:30, up or down Milton Avenue, whichever way you prefer, Route 50, over to the park. Santa Claus is here revving up. Maybe he's going to have a little hot chocolate here in a couple minutes to stay warm. Not too bad. 37 degrees right now. Let's take a look at the short-term forecast and how things will shape up for tonight. Doppler radar indicating some snow showers around, most of them west of the Capital District, over Fulton and Montgomery counties into the Schoharie Valley. Snow showers also on up into the Mohawk Valley. And that activity will drift onto the east. So we may get some sprinkles of rain this evening. It's, as I said, 37 right now. But as I said, as time goes along, it'll be warm enough for just cold enough for just plain snow showers and a coating to an inch tonight and tomorrow morning. Back live from Boston Spa in a few minutes. Benita and Phil.
Thanks, Bob. He's cracking down on holiday drinking and driving. A blanket patrol starts at 10 tonight and continues through 5 a.m. tomorrow. The Albany County Sheriff's Department and 11 other law enforcement agencies will be stopping drivers for traffic violations and checking for drunk or drugged drivers.
And merchants dependent on Bel Air Mountain say New York's neglect of the state-owned ski area in Ulster County is costing them their livelihood. Shirley Wadler's family business is just down the road.
Without any help for Bel Air, we're not going to survive. And I hate to feel that I've seen it come and go.
Governor Pataki has ordered a $300,000 study to see what Bel Air needs.
The city of Paducah in Kentucky gathered today to remember 3 girls whose lives were cut short when shots rang out at their school. The teens' caskets were scrolled with farewell messages from their friends. The teen credited with stopping the shooting gave a tearful eulogy for his 3 dead friends. Mourners were told the girls are in a better place now. The teens were gunned down during a prayer session at the school Monday. The accused gunman is just 14 years old.
Waterville Fire Chief Tom McCormick is being remembered as a man who put his community first.
McCormick was laid to rest today after a huge procession through the streets of Waterville. Mark Mulholland was there. He joins us now. And Mark, just how many people turned out?
Well, Benita, a crowd estimated at 3,000 came out to pay their final respects today to 44-year-old Tom McCormick. Now, McCormick was the fire chief in this city for 5 years, but clearly he was much more than that to this city. The procession began at the Parker Brothers Funeral Home on Broadway and slowly wound its way to the firehouse for a brief ceremony. From the firehouse to Sacred Heart of Mary Church, as a couple thousand firefighters waited to salute their fallen chief and comrade. Once inside the church, one speaker after another stood and praised Chief Tom McCormick.
He was held in the highest regard by his comrades. That is so obvious by the show of strength we saw here today.
Now, McCormick was buried at St. Agnes Cemetery in Menands today. He leaves behind a wife of just 8 months and clearly a couple thousand friends. Phil and Benita?
Mark, the firehouse has become a center, hasn't it now, this evening even, for some of the mourners?
Yeah, in fact, just about 20 minutes ago, a busload of 40 firefighters from Boston just pulled out of here. They'd been here mourning most of the afternoon. So that's a real testament. They came from all over the country, not just all over the capital region to say goodbye to Tom McCormick, but from all over the country.
What a tribute to the man and his life. Mark Mulholland reporting live in Waterville. Thank you. Some of the white stuff may be flying around this weekend. Bob's going to join us from the Boston Spa Victorian Parade with the first morning forecast in just a couple of minutes.
Before you bring your live Christmas tree home, we may also have some information for you you'll want to hear. It could help your tree last longer.
And then at 6, it's been a rough couple of months for the city of Waterville. We're going to tell you how the residents are coping with 4 different tragedies.
And if you've turned your house into a holiday wonderland, we want to see it. We'll tell you how you can help us find the best holiday light display in the capital region. It's all to come here on News Channel 13.
Live, local, late breaking with Chris Kapostasy and John Gray. This is News Channel 13, live at 5:30. Coming up, News Channel 13 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Bob Kovachick. Closed captioning of News Channel 13 is sponsored in part by Pepsi. Now, your First Warning forecast with Bob Kovachick.
There he is, the man. He is the man. Santa, how are you this year?
Good, very good, thank you.
Now, how many years have you been making the trip from the North Pole to the parade here in Boston Spa?
22 years.
22 years to see all the kids and to wish them a happy holiday.
That's right, that's correct.
And you're going to be riding in the parade high up.
Yes, I am. I'll be riding in the fire truck.
And then we light the Christmas tree.
Then I go down to the bank. And
Go down to the bank for what? Didn't make a withdrawal?
Yes, sir.
Hey, we'll see you in the parade in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
Okay. We got the parade kicking off here in Boston Spa. Santa Claus and myself, but he's the star. He's the man. Come on down to Boston Spa. Big parade kicking off, the annual Christmas parade at 6:30 tonight. Let's show you the weather and talk about what's going on. We're hoping for a little snow to come on in here. Our radar scan, and we loop it now over the past 12-hour period, showing there is some snow spreading in from the west. It's warm enough in some spots for some rain showers, and we may get some flakes of snow this evening. A better chance of light snow coming in a bit later on tonight. Local Doppler radar showing the most abundant area of snow now is west of Albany in the Schoharie and Mohawk valleys and a little bit east in the Rensselaer Hills. So we'll get some spitzels of snow this evening and a little bit more snow later tonight and tomorrow. Let's check out things, how they shape up, and then the forecast: cloudy, snow showers and squalls. Any squalls probably later tonight, a dusting to 2 inches, 25 to 30. A little wind-blown snow tomorrow, some snow showers and squalls around, an inch or two in some spots, 4 inches or more in the hills and mountains. Temperatures tomorrow 32 to 37. And around the region right now, temperatures generally in the mid-30s at Del Mar, Averill Park, 37 at Hoosick Falls, 36 at Rotterdam, snowing at Cobleskill, and it's getting colder, and we'll get some flakes later on. That is your latest county-by-county weather.
Now, news from across the capital region. News Channel 13, county by county.
Amsterdam police say they've nabbed 2 more drug suspects in a 2-month-long investigation.
That story tops our county-by-county report. The men, one from Amsterdam and one from New York City, were arrested at the Amsterdam McDonald's last night. Investigators say they got a tip a drug deal was going to happen at the restaurant. They staked out the McDonald's and moved in when they saw the suspects. The 2 men are the latest arrests in a drug sting in the city. Yesterday, Amsterdam police announced the arrest of 9 people accused of transporting and selling heroin and cocaine.
A Pittsfield man says someone grabbed him from behind, demanded money, stabbed him, and threw him to the ground. The man says it happened on Bradford Street in Pittsfield about 3:30 this morning. The man was treated and released from Berkshire Medical Center, and so far, police don't have any suspects.
The Duanesburg State Police Barracks may be moving. Troopers have used the Route 7 barracks for over 25 years, but in that time, the number of troopers working out of the barracks has more than doubled. State police say they're just in the planning stages, but they'll put together a list of 3 or 4 possible sites by March. They hope to have a new barracks built by the year 2000.
30 acres of land in the Saratoga town of Wilton will become a home for the endangered Carner blue butterfly. Governor Pataki announced that the state bought the land from a Warren County man. The state paid $265,000 for the property. Governor Pataki says the preserve will be one of the state's largest for the endangered butterflies.
And we want to take a minute to congratulate our own Chris Kapostasy. Tonight she'll be the guest of honor at the Big Brothers Big Sisters Crystal Ball. The ball is at the Desmond in Colony. Chris is being honored for her work over the past 10 years with the Big Brothers Big Sisters mentoring program. Today the hotel was busy getting ready for the black tie event. There will also be a silent auction. The Crystal Ball is also a fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Let's hope they raise a lot of money. It's a great program, and Chris has done great work there.
She sure has. She really has.
In your health, we're going to tell you why men should donate blood. Those details are coming up.
But first, in tonight's Project Payday, a look at what's in some magazines before you buy them.
A Guilderland native shares an inspirational story about his fight for life after losing the fingers of his left hand in a military accident. This month's Kung Fu magazine shows how his martial arts training helped him through the tough times.
And Massachusetts ski area Jiminy Peak is in for good times after being this month's issue of Ski Magazine. The article gives you the rundown of the variety of trails at Jiminy Peak and where to stay in the Berkshires so you can get the most out of a skiing weekend.
The late jockey, Eddie Arcaro, is highlighted in Blood Horse magazine. Arcaro won the Triple Crown twice and Saratoga's Travers 4 times. Find out more about him in this month's magazine. And thanks to Westmere News for their help with our newsstand picks this week.
Back to Live at 5:30 with Consumer and Health News.
Well, we've been busy shoppers in the past 8 days. That money-spending fact tops our consumer alert. Discount stores are off to a pretty good start for the holiday season. Sales of toys, home appliances, and seasonal merchandise lifted November retail numbers at Walmart by 6%. At Kmart, they rose by almost 5.5%. Most of the buying came after Thanksgiving. And a Michigan State University scientist has discovered a way to turn corn into a salt substitute, lacking both sodium and a bitter aftertaste. Helso salt is made from corn, which is refined, turned into cornstarch, and then fermented to produce lysine, a salt-like amino acid. The product is now available in health food stores, direct mail, and through the internet.
And in your health, giving blood may be as good for you as it is for the recipient. 2 new studies show that men who gave at least a unit of blood every 3 years had a 30% less chance of suffering a heart attack, stroke, undergoing heart surgery, or requiring heart medication. Scientists say the benefit may come from the loss of iron, which is involved in a chemical reaction that can clog your arteries. The studies appear in the journal Heart. And if your blood pressure goes up at the doctor's office, you're not alone. It is a common problem called white coat hypertension. Studies show as many as 20% of those diagnosed with high blood pressure have normal levels when they get home. However, most hypertensive patients are correctly diagnosed. This study appears in an October issue of the Journal of the American Medical Association. And that wraps up our look at consumer and health news.
Now, here's Jay Bobbin with the scoop for this Friday.
Well, do you remember what you were doing on the 4th of July weekend last year? I do. I was looking for Christian Slater. He was in the village of Fleischmann's making a movie called Julian Poe, and many of the residents there were very excited. Not a lot has been heard about this movie since, though, but you will finally have your chance to see it. Line Home Video is releasing it on videotape the last week in January. It's about a suicidal man whose life changes when he visits a small town that happens to be Fleischmann's, and you can bet what the hottest renting there will be among tapes at the end of this January. The people in Fleischmann's were very friendly to us when we went. By the way, we did not find Christian Slater that weekend. He was celebrating the 4th of July in New York City, but we had a good time looking anyway. Well, if there's one stage show you will not have a problem finding over these next couple of weekends, it is the Nutcracker. There are dueling productions of it this weekend and next. We should say competing productions, probably to be a little more politically correct. And the notable one this weekend is the Malta Ballet Company version, to be performed tomorrow at 3 and 7:30 at the Empire Center at the Egg in Albany. Performing with the troupe will be Wendy Whalen and Jock Soto of the New York Ballet Company. I spoke with Ginger Morris, who's the artistic director and choreographer of the Malta Ballet Company. I asked her about all the Nutcracker competition.
We feel that the Nutcracker is a Christmas production. And it seems to us that people year to year go to different Nutcrackers. They want to see the changes and the difference, and the different principal dancers and the different local companies in the Capital District. So we feel it's not that big of a problem, and I'm sure there's, a lot of children out there who want to come and see the show.
And to mention, in fairness, the Albany Berkshire Ballet's production will be tomorrow at the Palace Theater, 3 and 7 p.m., and also Sunday at 1. And Benita the Nutcracker is certainly one of the most popular Christmas shows, so I guess it is no surprise, especially since we're into December, that so many productions are showing up now.
That's one of the highlights for me for the holiday season as a kid, to be able to go to Lincoln Center and see that. And I have a confession. One of the groups asked if I would take part, being the opening scene.
Oh.
My hat's off to everybody who's in this, because the rehearsal schedule was just too much during the holiday season, so I had to say thank you, but we'll see that next year.
There you go.
And then we'll get you, and we'll dance together.
That'll be something.
What do you think, Phil?
Good idea, but Benita, I'd like to see you perform. Well, if you'd like to keep the needles on your Christmas trees, we have a story you're going to want to see. It's next, and a little later at 6:30.
I'm Tom Brokaw. Tonight, they're searching to save Mother Earth. Secrets hidden hundreds of feet in the air in the branches of the oldest trees in the Pacific Northwest. Will they find a way to stop global disaster? This is an adventure story you'll want to see tonight on NBC Nightly News.
Check out News Channel 13 online with MSNBC and NBCIN.
Picking the right Christmas tree and treating it right can make all the difference.
All the difference in whether you've got a naked tree with needles all over the floor or a great-looking tree that lasts the season. Liz Crenshaw has more.
They are pretty, and the family decorating is a tradition many of us look forward to all year. But how do you keep your needles looking nice and not nasty? Well, it's all in the picking. The first thing you want to do to find out if the tree of your dreams is really a fresh tree is you want to lift the tree and make sure that it's nice and heavy. A light tree doesn't have any water in it and won't last the season. Next, you want to take a branch and bend it and make sure that it's soft and pliable. Make sure that it doesn't snap in your fingers. And then you want to shake the tree and make sure that you don't lose a lot of needles. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you if you come out to the country to cut down your own tree is know how tall your ceilings are. A tree that looks just the right size out here in the field can be much bigger when you get it home and try to get it through the front door.
Elizabeth Crenshaw for NBC News.
Time now for your comments. It's a sampling of some of the feedback we get in the phone, on the mail, and through the computer.
In fact, we received an email from one woman who thanks us for carrying the information about the Salvation Army needing help collecting money this time of year. She says, thanks to News Channel 13, she plans to volunteer.
And this is my favorite one. Another viewer emails to say they've been watching for many years and admires the hard work and dedication of News Channel 13 reporters.
Thank you, thank you. One viewer writes to say he watches us each morning and depends on our traffic reports to get safely to work, but wonders how he can report an accident to us once he's on the road. Easy. You can dial star 13 if you have Cellular One service, or pound 8813 if you're a Bell Atlantic customer.
We'd like to find out what's on your mind. If you like to, give us a call, leave a comment. The phone number is 436-8477, extension 615.
I'm Ed Dag here with a look at what's coming up at 6. We are looking for the best holiday decorations in the capital region. And in just a few minutes, we'll tell you how you can tell us why your personal winter wonderland deserves a mention. Then, in the past few months, the city of Waterville has had to deal with 4 tragedies. We talked to some of the residents about how these sad events have actually brought some people closer together. And the windshield in your car may be an accident waiting to happen. Bill Lambden joins us now live with a preview of his story. Bill.
Oh, Ed, your car windshield doesn't just keep the bugs out of your teeth. It's part of the automotive safety system, but a common installation method for replacement windshields may let you down when you need it the most, and the state is refusing to toughen standards. I'll have that story in a few minutes.
Before we take one last look at the weather, we'll say goodbye from here.
Hope your weekend is a great one. Bob Kovachick getting a jump on it as the Grand Marshal of the parade up in Ballston Spa.
Yes, hi, Benita and Phil. And again, the weather is cooperating. It's pretty good. No snow yet. We're hoping for some snow showers around. Lots of people gathering. Let's take a look at how travel weather picture shapes up. This is for tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock. There'll be some snow showers around. It'll be breezy and cold, upper 20s, and expect a coating, maybe an inch of snow in parts of the area early tomorrow. It will be a cold, snow flurry type weekend coming up. That is it. We are live in Ballston Spa. The parade kicking off here in about a half an hour. Lots of people gathering around, getting ready. The parade to get underway. As I said, come on down, enjoy a good old-fashioned Christmas parade coming up. That's it for now. Live at 6, straight ahead.